Hi, so my name is Alba and I am Isaiah's mom, and I've been at Father's Uplift for about a year now. Maybe.
My name is Zahira Truth. My son is Diligent Sankofa. He's 9 years old, and he's been coming to the youth enrichment program on Saturdays for almost 2 years.
Okay, my name is Tamika Oden. I have a son, Christopher Brady and Christian Oden. We have been with Father's Uplift for about 4 or 5 months.
I heard about Father's Uplift on Facebook. I saw a flyer and it mentioned a youth program that ran during the summer in the school time, and it said it just offered all these wonderful things, and I was like, yes, my son needs that.
My kids haven't really been involved in any other programs. We have definitely been on the wait list for like Big Brothers Big Sisters, so in that aspect I will definitely say when I called, they got us right in, versus being on a wait list for 2 years other places and other people having a lengthy wait list and haven't even gotten any return calls. So this organization was a lot better in that sense. Well, for my 2 kids, we live in Quincy in a predominantly white community. They are the minority in the school when it comes to Caucasians and Chinese. Like, it's probably 6 black kids in the school. And I try to tell them that, you know, they have to stay positive, they have to do good at all things, because it is so few of them that if anything goes wrong, it's always going to be like pinpointed on them. And so we're just trying to do the best that we can, and Father's Uplift has really helped with that.
So at first, I had a situation in which I was waiting for an intake, waiting for an appointment, and I had a situation where I got a call from the school. And the call was just pretty much telling me that, again, Isaiah had these behaviors that were very negative, and I just, at the time, I felt like I was going to blow a gasket. And I didn't really know what to do, so I decided to pick him up, because I needed to pick him up and come here. And the whole ride here, I said nothing. I just came here, and I felt like this would be a safe haven. And when I came here, George met us at the door, and George and Isaiah instantly hit it off. I explained, you know, what had happened and why I was here. I was able to speak to others who understood what I was going through, and next thing you know, he was able to get his intake, get everything he needed. I filled out the paperwork and everything, so we were able to get something good out of something where I felt like I was hopeless and I needed support. So I just came here out of desperation, and then next thing you know, everything just hit off from there.
Father's Uplift, to my understanding, does a lot of different things. They do community outreach. One thing that they do is support fathers at being present in their children's lives. They also provide mental health services to community members, which include men and women and children, and they give back to the community. I had the opportunity to participate in a cook-off that they had. That was a lot of fun. It was like a block party. And one of the most important things, the reason why I'm here and my son is here, is because of their youth program.
Father's Uplift is a second home for my son, and a sense of hope for the future, for not only me, but his dad, and for Isaiah.
Support. I would definitely say it's support. The clinicians here have been with us every step of the way. Anytime I have an issue, I can call, I can email, and they support us completely. They're very positive role models, everybody here. They do need to see the good in all black communities, but all they see on the news and all they hear about is the negative. At home, we try to be positive, but we also have to let them know what's real, like how black men are targeted no matter what age you are.
For me particularly, I'm a mother of 2 boys. Diligent is 9, and then I have a 14-year-old. I think that a lot of times the school system in general, or just society in general, likes to criminalize young black boys or just children in general. They make them older than what they are. They take away their innocence from them. They don't give them the benefit of the doubt. I think that that's a really real thing that affects young people today, and it especially happens in urban communities. I think because sometimes there's an absence of those spaces in our community, it's imperative that we access them. A lot of times the individuals and people who develop programming as well as educate our children don't have the perspective of our background. They don't have the societal connection of coming from a particular race or demographic background, and they just may not understand some of the struggles that a child or family might be facing on a day-to-day basis. And when you don't have that context, you don't know how to be empathetic to that child's needs. You don't know how to reach them on their level, socially or emotionally. I think having a space that has that is about black and brown people, or just people in an urban community, is supportive. And for young black boys that may not have a male figure in their life, either it be a father, a grandfather, or uncle, I think having an alternative to that, seeing that there are men of color in their life, particularly black men, for young black boys that are caring, that are empathetic, that are nurturing, that want the best for them, that give them a different role model and example of what it's like to be an adult. I think it's important for their growth and development, because sometimes it's a cycle where if you never had an example, you don't know how to be an example. So providing a space where not only men can develop and grow and nurture, but also their children can grow and nurture, I think is important. And I think that came from his vision and his ideas.
Being prejudged, not being understood, and also feeling like you're doomed to fail. There are so many times in which I feel like, as a mom, I'm advocating for and trying to prevent a situation where my son is being judged or being put in a situation where he's considered less than an intelligent and capable child who's going to do great things in life. So I'm constantly trying to foster that in him and trying to help everybody see that potential in him as well. So I find that it's challenging in systems which don't always see that in my son.
So when my son first started coming here, he was coming here for clinical services related to mental health support. He struggles with just like expressing himself sometimes when it comes to his emotions. And when we first came, Father's Uplift was like a little hole in the wall over by Dudley. And my son was not feeling it. It was not fun. They didn't have any toys or anything like that. But it's not really about that. But when you're a kid and you come into a space, you're like, this is whack, this is corny, this is boring. So that was kind of his perspective when we initially started. And that was like a while ago, maybe a year and a half ago, if not longer. And now we're at the new location, and there's like a space. They've carved out an actual space, actual room, where it's more supportive to young people and children. And he actually gets excited about coming here. And if we can't come here due to like things that I might be working on, such as like work or projects, he gets highly upset. Like, oh, I'm not going to the boys group today. It's serious conversation in our house. But one thing that I can say is that the organization is very supportive, because if there's like a way that they can ensure that the children can participate, they make it happen, which is really appreciated. So yeah.
My kids are really struggling with like being vocal. So their clinician really helps them talk through things, support them. They have came to basketball games to show support because we don't have any family here. So now we kind of look at them as family.
Very much so. I've seen a drastic change. So my son went from having explosive behaviors, which were very impulsive, very destructive to himself, to others, disrespectful, and not really caring about the consequences, to now he's more expressive. He's able to talk about his feelings, talk through different types of scenarios. He can see something going on in the world and he can relate to how that makes him feel. and how he would talk through something. So I find that he comes to me with scenarios, with insight, and he's just grown into be this person that just can express himself so well. So that I'm impressed with. His teachers have seen a dramatic change in him as well. So very big difference. So that's exactly the reason why I came here. So one, I felt like my son needed a black male role model. I wanted him to have a mentor such as a big brother that he can rely on. He needed to see examples of people like himself who can either explain what it's like to walk through the streets and what risks come with that, or that can say, I've made mistakes and this is what I've learned from them, or like this is where I've come from and this is where I am now. So I needed him to have that sense of relativity so that he can connect and bond and also see fathers in everyone. So that's part of the reason why this has grown to be a home for him. He comes here, he gravitates towards everyone here, not only the kids that he bonds with, but everyone. He just has that level of respect, and they also speak to him as if they were his own. So there's this village model of care here where no matter who's there, somebody's always keeping an eye on him. So when he's here, I feel safe, he feels safe, and it's a situation in which when I hear them talk to him saying, you know, talk to your mother with respect. You need to respond in this way. So they constantly are giving them the same advice that they would give their own child. So I appreciate that.
I would say thank you for all of your support. Stay strong, stay on the right path, realize that there are so many people in your corner and you are worth it.
I just want to say thank you for your vision. Thank you for holding space and developing a space that is community-based for fathers, but also for just children and families in general. I think what you're doing is a wonderful thing, and just continue to do great work. Diligent, I love you. I am so proud of you, and I've seen how much you have grown. And if there's anything that you ever need, you know, you can always come to me. You can come here and share how you're feeling. And I just want the best for you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I have benefited so much from this program. Isaiah has benefited so much from this program, not only from him being a part of the youth group and everything that he gets from the youth group, but even donations, giving us toys. Like one time my daughter needed a coat and I got a coat. Like there's just so many situations that I can remember. Like he comes here, he gets his breakfast, he gets his lunch, and he's just so happy to be here. The drop-in center, all of these things are awesome supports. The community supports that you guys are connected with, it's just amazing potential for the future, as well as all of the stuff that I've benefited so far has been great. Keep on doing a great job, because you continue to impress me with your ability to analyze life, yourself, your feelings, and just really see yourself through a better version of yourself. All the potential that I could see, I feel like he sees in himself. So just very, very impressed. Very impressed.
Anything else you'd like to say?
No.
Okay. Ferreria?